Hi, my name's Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. Today we're looking at Kingdomino, designed by Bruno Cathala and Cyril Bouquet and published by Blue Orange Games. What we have here is a 2 to 4 player drafting and tile placement game where you play as competing kings seeking new lands to expand your kingdom and develop the best territories. So here you're going to be drafting, or if you like picking, for a number of options in terms of tiles and then placing them in patterns to score the most points. So let's see how this plays and whether this could be the next game for you. So the object of the game is for you to be the player with the most points at the end of a set number of turns. Now each player is going to need to bring their own coloured castle, starting tile and king token. And if we can just ignore this partially constructed grid for the time being, there are 48 dominoes or tiles in the box, and in this 3-player example we're going to use 36 of those. Now all the tiles are numbered from 1 to 48, so you're going to need to randomly shuffle into one big pile 36 of those tiles. Once that's done, you're then going to draw the top 3 and place them on the board in ascending order. So I can tell you that this is number 22, here is number 23, and this is number 48. You'll see that each tile has one side with terrain features on and the other with their respective number. So to complete setup, I just want to refer to the terrain tiles because you'll see they're broken down into 2 halves, and there are different types of terrain throughout the game. I won't go through them exhaustively, but these yellow ones denote wheat fields, the blue ones here denote lakes, and the green ones here, or the light green ones, denote villages. Because the idea of the game is you're connecting tiles of the same terrain type on your grid, because that's going to give you the means to score the most amount of points. So to start, you're going to take each coloured token and shuffle them in a closed hand and drop one at random. This is going to allow the yellow player to pick which tile they're going to pick first. So here they decide to put them on the middle tile, and then we do the same again. Here blue gets to pick a tile and picks the top one, and that leaves the green player to be able to pick the bottom one. Then players are going to draw the next 3 tiles and place them in ascending order, just like they did on the first line here. They're then going to flip them to show the terrain side, and then each player is going to perform 2 actions. The first of which is to place the tile they've selected, and as it's the start of the game they need to do so adjacent to their starting tile. Now this starting tile counts as every terrain type, and the reason that's important is for you to be able to place a tile legally it has to share a terrain type with one adjacent to it. So here you see we've placed a village there, and then a future tile has a village terrain type adjacent, and similarly we placed a lake next to a lake. Then that player is going to select the tile for their next turn. So here the blue player goes for the more valuable bottom tile. The yellow player then places their tile and chooses the next one for their turn. Here they go for the top one, leaving the green player to place their tile and only have one choice but to pick this middle tile for the next turn. So you're going to be building your kingdom on a 5x5 grid, and each tile is effectively 2x1. Now if you were to be unable to legally place a tile, or if you were to place a tile and it goes out of the 5x5 grid, then you immediately discard it. So the idea is that you connect squares with the same territory, but you also need to ensure that one of those squares has a crown icon here. because when you're scoring at the end of the game, you're actually going to multiply the number of crown symbols by the number of connected squares of the same territory. So here, these 4 crowns would multiply with the 2 village squares, giving you 8 points. And unfortunately here, these 4 wheat field squares are going to give you no points because none of those squares has a crown symbol on them. In contrast, this 1 mountain square here has 2 crowns, so you're going to multiply 2 by the 1 square, giving you 2 points. Now play proceeds like that until you've used all the dominoes and constructed as much of the 5x5 grid as you can. You'll then calculate your total number of points, and the player with the most is the winner. So now you've seen how the game plays, what did I think of it? So who is this game for? Well, it's unquestionably a lightweight game because it's easy to teach, very simple to get to the table, and games are over quick and fast, with the longest being 15 to 20 minutes. So you might want to consider this if you liked Carcassonne, published by Z-Man Games, or Honshu, published by Renegade Game Studios. Now both of those games offer a little bit more complexity than Kingdomino, so if you're looking for that simpler, even quicker game, then this could certainly be worth a look. So in terms of gameplay, really we're breaking it down into 2 sections. The first is the drafting, which offers a simple and elegant mechanic, because you can either be trying to pick first or near the start, but just to get the type of terrain you need, but then you're probably going to be gaining access to weaker cards. Or you could gamble and try to pick near the end, but then you're relying on your opponents to leave you the tile you need, but you will, more often than not, be gaining access to the more powerful tiles. When we talk about then the tile placement, it's actually quite challenging to fit all of these tiles in a 5x5 grid. Now you start off quite easily and you think, yep, no trouble here. But as the game goes on, it's harder to get those terrain types that you need in order to fit perfectly into that grid. So in terms of replayability, it's fairly low to medium in one sitting. You're probably only going to want to play a maximum of 3 rounds here, which is going to get you about an hour's worth of play time. But this is absolutely a game that you would want to come back to time and time again, because it does provide a nice challenge. There are some neat little play variants in the rule book, so the option to give yourself more points if you're able to build a territory with the castle in the middle. Or for an even greater challenge, you can play on a 7x7 grid. So that was a nice little touch. So I last played this game through with the good lady and the all-mother. And I found myself wondering what all the queens were doing out there in the land. I'm not sure how impressed they were having to immerse themselves in the game as... In fact, what if... Hold on, is it really that easy to be a game designer? So in terms of the look and feel and theme of the game, well, everything in the box is well produced. The art style is vibrant and attractive, and component quality across the board is excellent. The card stock is well made, and so you can see this game lasting a long time, and there's a nice sheen on the tiles that brings your grid to life. It's an inexpensive game, so with everything I've just said, this does, as an overall package, provide good value for money. In terms of the theme, well, there's not really much to it. You're obviously playing as kings looking to expand their land, but really this could have been any number of things. But with a lightweight game such as this, you really don't need to worry too much about theme. So with all that being said, Dice vs Cards are going to give a final score of 7 out of 10, because this is a fun, simple, albeit challenging game to master. Now, if you or your playgroup really are just into lightweight games, or you want quick and fast and easy to get to the table games, then this is probably going to get a higher score, probably an 8 out of 10. However, that's enough from me. I'll see you next time.